Hello and welcome to this video on how to delete or manage content. Since the startup of this web page, we've created a lot of blocks, especially blocks. We have some images and some documents as well, but most of them are added for this page feature, and when you delete the page, you also delete that content. We have some areas that just accumulate information, and especially now in September of 2018, when we upgraded and changed how we work with blocks drastically, there are a lot of blocks left in the structure that will never be used again. Most of them are container blocks, and second to that we have all the contact blocks. Since we've updated the footer field and changed how contact blocks are used, very many contact blocks are just lying around, taking up space and confusing future editors. So this is just to show you how to be sure that you're deleting content in the right way. And if you're unsure, I'll show you how to be sure that you're not doing anything wrong. So you can just start off by being on the front page, and on the front page you have, or on a country, you have two locations you can store content. One is under the section 2 world and your country and all the folders that you have beneath that. Remember to change between blocks and media if you want to delete blocks or media. Medias are images and documents associated with articles. Blocks are building blocks that make up some kind of content presenting information with it. I'm going to focus on blocks in this video, but the same features or purposes also reflect onto images and documents. First off, just the first one is to world and your country and all the folders beneath that, but you also have one for each page, and then again one for each block. So if you open one information block or whatever it is, you can have more blocks within that block. If they're used or not is based on what is published at that moment. So in the front page of Ghana, I'm pretty sure I have some information that I've created that I don't need anymore. But how do I figure that out? First of all, we're just going to start at the top. And usually you can just take your mouse over a block and you can see what type of block it is. In this case, it's an information block. And I know that information blocks are the blocks that you put on top of the field, and we don't use those anymore. So I know that this probably doesn't work anymore. So I'm just going to go and select move to trash. As you can see, the system checks that if the block is used for me, and it says with the green box, which is usually a safety feature, no other content uses this block. It can safely be removed to trashed. So I'll just click move to trash, and now that's gone. It's possible to find it back again if you find out that you need it, but still, it's gone right now. Let's try the next one, the information block, and it's free text 1 column accordion item. And I also know that we don't use those on the front page, so this is probably also something that I can delete. A green box shows delete. Now, Norway assists Sierra Leone landslide victims. This is also, what was it? An information block, which is at the top. We don't use those anymore, so you can move to trash. This is also green, move to trash. Now let's try one I know that we're using, top task link list for Norman, which is this box, and I know we're using that. So I'll try that, move to trash. And it says, this is used in the following places. And on the front page, and you can go and click the view button. Now let's try out one that I know is used on many locations. I go to the world, Ghana, and contact information. The contact blocks have been or are used in many locations. So when I click on move to trash, it's going to tell me that it's used in many locations. So let's see. This is Gambia, one of our site accredited pages, and I'm going to click view. And it takes me to Ghana's front page, and I'll just do a reasoning here. I'll see there's a contact block, and this is the address and content. So usually it's used in the footer here somewhere. And I can just click this field to see if it's here. No, maybe not. No. So it is not used in the footer. And during the upgrade, when we removed all the footer blocks and changed all that information, we preserved the information in other places just in case something went wrong. And after a while, we're going to remove it. But if you're doing this cleanup before we remove all that information, you can find that information someplace else. As you can see, contact block, contact information, here we go. This is under all properties and footer 1 field. This field will disappear in a while, but if you want to remove it or want to clean up while this is here, you can find it in that area. So what we're looking for is contact block address dash content. And I think this is it. It's not in use in any location at all. And once I've removed it and published, you can go in and just make sure that one of the locations have disappeared, and it has. Now you will just continue doing this until there's a empty list, or in other cases, which I use a lot, I am very sure that the same problem that I've just fixed here in the footer 1 field is on Ghana. So I can just move to trash anyway. But I'll just, for this video, I'll just check it out and see if that's the feature or the error message. As you can see, address content, contact block, address content. For some reason, it doesn't want to allow me to present the content. There we go. So if I remove this now and publish, you will see that it's one less in the list. And then the last one is a newsletter, which is a test field. So now I can just move to trash anyway. And then you continue to the next one, move to trash. And as you can see in the background here, maybe you see address header, address header. It's the same block, move to trash anyway. The block will still be here, but it won't do anything. So you can remove it when you find it, or in other features, just leave it there because the fields will disappear in this case. But it's a good example on how to work on deleting content. You can do so with most of these contact blocks, because contact blocks is something that we are striving to remove. We do not want to use them because they will just confuse and clutter up the system. So this is how to delete content. It's also possible, of course, to remove an item before you delete it. No difference in how you do it. It's just important to just be sure that it's not used anymore, because if you delete something that is used, like this block with information, it would just turn gray. It won't be there anymore, and you will just see the published information anyway. So that's how to delete content. Thank you.